If you are the fastest player in the league, is your success guaranteed?
You get an opportunity to do what you've been blessed to do in front of everybody.
If you're the fastest player in the league, is your success guaranteed? You get an opportunity to do what you've been blessed to do in front of everybody. 2 of the 7 fastest in the game have seen more than just rings. 2 of them even played each other in the same Super Bowl. But how many of these speedsters were complete busts? Today, we've got the 7 fastest players in NFL history. No specific order. This list is based on the fastest 40 times, true speed on the field, and other factors like Olympic gold. Now he's Coach Prime, but back in the day, he was prime time for a reason. Deion Sanders has scored more points than any defensive player in history with 22 touchdowns, and we'll show you just how he did it. The NFL moved to electronic recording of 40 times in 1999. Before this, it was done with a handheld clock. In Deion's 1989 Combine, he ran the 40, and there were multiple times given for his speed: 4.21, 4.29, and several in between. It was agreed that 4.27 was the most accurate timing, but if it was 4.21, he'd be tied with the fastest time ever. 4.27 still put him in the top 10, but who cares about a 40-yard sprint when you see him make plays like this? Most DBS would maybe get a few yards on a pick like this. Watch him run this kickoff back, evading defenders, finding the seams, and blazing past everyone for the score. Deion is one of the best corners ever. Just watch him stop the best receiver in history, Jerry Rice. It was his elite combination of speed and hand-eye coordination that made him an assassin. He was known for plucking the ball out of the air and taking it to the house. Hold him to a punt. They get another chance. 47 to go, and look at him go. Prime time. Prime time. You gotta be kidding me. You couldn't write a script like this. A minute to go. The game on the line. Deion, his first appearance at Candlestick, he did that 9 times. Even took a fumble recovery for 6 points once. This is why teams also put him on kick and punt return duties, a total of 9 touchdowns between the two. Primetime even played receiver a few times and notched 3 touchdowns in that position. Of all the sprinters, Deion may be the most decorated. 8 Pro Bowls, 6 times first team All-Pro, and 2 Super Bowl wins. There's only one other player on this list that rivals Deion. But what about those who never came close to that level of success? One of the best 40 times ever recorded was by John Ross. He tore down the turf at the 2017 Draft Combine with a time of 4.22, which at that point was the fastest in the electronic timing era. That's a big part of why this receiver got drafted in the first round, 9th overall, by the Bengals. His rookie year, he didn't see the field much due to injuries, but in 2018 he played 13 games, 21 catches for 210 yards with 7 touchdowns. Ross needed work for sure, but he was a weapon. Cincinnati thought he could become a threat in their arsenal for years to come, but in 2019 he ended up playing less games, only 8. In 2020 he played in 3. He just couldn't find a way to stay on the field. By 2021, he was on the New York Giants, playing in 10 games for them before not seeing the field at all in 2022 or 2023. Ross managed to work his way onto the Eagles roster in 2024 for 1 game played, 2 targets, 1 reception, 6 yards. His 40-yard dash record was not able to translate onto the field. He didn't have a single target in Super Bowl 59, but he was on the roster of the winning team, so he earned himself a Super Bowl ring. In 1999, the first year they used electronic timing, a man named Rondel Menendez ran a 4.24. For nearly a decade, no one had touched it, until the year 2008, when a running back out of East Carolina arrived at the Combine. Chris Johnson tied Menendez with a 4.24 time. The Titans drafted him 24th overall, and then he put those burners to good use on the professional level. 2nd down and 7 at the 34. Johnson and Johnson. Oh, can he get that speed? Better believe it. Touchdown, Tennessee. Johnson was a lightning bolt wrapped in Titans blue. In 2008, he finished 2nd in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting and 7th in MVP voting. In 2009, he was the Offensive Player of the Year. He also made first team All-Pro once and earned Pro Bowl honors 3 times in just his first 3 years. Not to mention, in 2009, when Johnson ran for 2,006 yards, becoming only the 6th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards or more. He's still one of only 9 to ever do it. It felt like Johnson was going to be an elite back for a long time, but after those first 3 years, it started to plateau and then go downhill. He wasn't putting up the high numbers anymore, and the team was struggling. In 6 seasons with the Titans, they only made the playoffs once and got bounced in their first game. In 2014, when Johnson headed to the Jets, the decline got worse as he sustained injuries. In 2015, he played in Arizona, made the playoffs, saw a playoff win, but lost in the NFC Championship game. In his last 2 seasons, 2016 and 17, he saw nearly no playing time. His speed and skill gave him a promising start, but ultimately he fizzled out under poor offensive systems and injuries. You may not be so familiar with the name Bob Hayes, but he's about as elite as it gets. Nicknamed Bullet Bob because of his rocket speed, Hayes is part of the reason why zone defenses look the way they do now. Before Bullet Bob Hayes joined the NFL in 1965, he had another important sporting event to attend, the 1964 Olympics. Bob Hayes ran the 100-meter dash and the 4x100-meter relay. He not only won the gold medal in each of those races, he set a new 100-meter dash record at that time, 10.06 seconds. Hayes played for the Cowboys most of his career, leading the league in receiving touchdowns his first 2 seasons, earning first-team All-Pro twice, Pro Bowl honors 3 times, and helping Dallas win their first Super Bowl in 1972. Bullet Bob was so lethal with his speed, defensive coordinators had to adjust their zone defenses, playing DBS deeper to account for him. Bullet Bob changed the landscape of NFL zone defenses, and he remains the only person with both a Super Bowl ring and an Olympic gold medal. Only one other player later on this list might rival that accomplishment. A hair faster than Chris Johnson, just a smidge slower than John Ross. In 2022, a prospect named Kalon Barnes declared for the draft. The speedster played wide receiver and cornerback at Baylor, trying to make it in the NFL on defense. He ran a 4.23. That was the second fastest to date. No one could say Kalon Barnes didn't have speed, but did he have enough football skills? In the 7th round, with the 242nd overall pick, the Carolina Panthers took a chance on Barnes. Matt Rule had coached Barnes for 2 seasons at Baylor, but it didn't work out in Charlotte. He was released in August. In September, the Dolphins signed him to their practice squad. In December, the Vikings signed him to the active roster. He played 2 games for Minnesota, but only on special teams. In August 2023, he was released again. He bounced from Pittsburgh to New York to Cleveland, back to Pittsburgh. No luck. He tried to make the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL. No dice. Even an attempted joining of Edmonton in the CFL didn't work out. Clearly, you need more than just speed in the NFL. At least Barnes had the second fastest 40 time ever, until 2024, when he got dropped down the list by a newcomer. The receiver out of Texas, Xavier Worthy, achieved the new fastest 40 time in the electronic era, 4.21. As a Chief, Worthy would have Patrick Mahomes throwing to him, a deadly combination. Worthy had a highly productive rookie year, 59 receptions, 638 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns, including this Week 1 fake handoff to the back and quick toss in the backfield, where Worthy showcased his quickness on a 21-yard scamper to the end zone. The season had just begun, and already his speed looked lethal. The Chiefs marched through the playoffs and made it to the Super Bowl, where Xavier Worthy and John Ross were both in attendance. John Ross may not have had a single reception, but he came away with the ring. Worthy went for 8 catches, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but much of that was in garbage time after the Chiefs had already been destroyed. Worthy's career is still young. He could go places. It's not like we haven't seen that with a speedy receiver in Kansas City before. Nicknamed Cheetah, only because they couldn't find a faster land animal to compare him to, Tyreek Hill entered the draft in 2016 and ran a 4.29. Hill was selected by the Chiefs in the 5th round, 165th overall. Kansas City definitely made use of him as a receiver early on, but his specialty was returning kicks and punts. 2 punt return touchdowns and 1 kick return touchdown where he made history. 22.77 miles per hour, the fastest speed ever recorded on an NFL field at the time. That was a play that counted. On a play that didn't count, Hill hit 23.24 miles per hour. Hill regularly broke defenses with his blistering speed, whether he got behind corners in a flash or if he caught the ball on a quick slant and then shifted into overdrive. His first year in the NFL, his longest reception was 49 yards. In 2019, his long was 57. In 2022, it was 64. Every other season, it was 75 yards or more. That means essentially every season you can pencil him in for a 50-yard catch, and most of the time, you'll see at least a 75-yarder. Tyreek's speed is deadly, and worst of all, it's consistent. Even when he went to Miami, he kept burning down defenses, including 2023 when he led the league in touchdowns and yards, 1,799, the seventh most in a single season ever. But Hill isn't done yet. He has proven to be one of the best at translating speed into success. But with modern-day 40 timing and in-game speed tracking, who knows what new class of players will break all their records.